Hello, welcome back. The Throne of Air has been claimed, and we did some summons, searched for sites, and our god found 2, Enchanted Tower and Sparkling Fields. I think that's an Earth Gem and an Air Gem. So again, not what we're looking for, but still pretty good. We moved into Monoboa, but there's nothing there. So took that with no problems. And events then, we got some Misfortune in Monoboa, we lost some income in Ionia, and 3 Earth Gems in Bright Woods. Not all bad. Here's the map now. It looks like Patalira moved everything to Sasterland. Interesting, very defensive. We're in Monoboa though, I'm just going to sit on Endron now. He could move everything to Ionia now and then threaten this again, which would be annoying. And I actually can't move from Erebon to this province if I'm there. So if I'm sitting here, it takes me 19 movement points to get back to Holberg. And unfortunately, our units have 18, so we'd be 1 short. So by moving here, I'm kind of cutting myself off a bit. We also lose a retreat route if we lose Monoboa. What's the PD here? Deer Tribe, terrible. But let's see if we can get away with it. We'll see if we can just sit on this palisades and knock it over quickly and take it. Looks empty. It'd be nice to have another fort we can recruit out of right next to him. So I'll give it a shot. I don't think he can defend it now, because he's so far away. Since it's a palisades, it's only 100 wall as well. We have 157 siege strength. So we should be able to just move on to it and then take it immediately, and then that'll be fine. Gives us a point of safety. I am going to try and recruit a lot of stuff to be able to defend Holberg though next turn if we need to, so I'm moving out a few mages into Millgate. I really hope they don't get diseased, but we'll be able to do some more spells with these guys. I'm bringing Vine Men and the Clay Men. Bring those guys. They can go to Millgate as well. And there's currently 4 elephants in the garrison, and I'm recruiting a lot more. That's in addition to the ones we already have here. So all of that stuff's going to Millgate. We'll have lots of elephants, we'll have some summons. And I might also bump the PD up massively again, since it's pretty good PD. So this is 130 units, so if he threatens this, it'd be pretty hard defense, but even if we lose, we should still kill a lot of stuff. And then we'll also be taking our palisades off him, so not all bad. We'll just see how things go. Not building any buildings this turn. We did get a temple down, which is nice. I could put a lab here if I recruited fewer units, but no. Let's recruit lots of elephants. I will search this province for sites though while I'm here. God's going to move to Bog of Beasts and site search here, and then I think I'm going to go home and research after that. So fingers crossed we find some nice big astral sites. And I think that's basically it for this turn. There's 1 elephant in Bright Woods, so this random commander is leading him over. Try and get him over here as well. And yeah, we'll have all those big mages next turn. So that's quite good as well. I think that's it for this turn though. This final red arrow is just the priest who built the temple. Just going to go to Cormark next, why not? Might get a temple there one day. Fingers crossed this all goes fine then. We'll see. But that was turn 22, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. Did some more summons, searched for some magic sites, but didn't find any, unfortunately. And then 2 battles. Probably not worth watching straight away. We can see the big stack that Patalira has. Taking a province back, and then we moved on to the fortress, or palisades rather. So yeah, the stack is now here. I don't think it can possibly stop this. So it's just threatening these 2 provinces now. So I'll just briefly look over it. There are about 50 units in the front, mostly the 2-handed sword guys. A new addition to the army are the poison slingers though. So that will do a little bit of damage. It's armor negating damage. But we have a lot of hit points, so it's not terrible. In this battle you can see the poison kind of lands. These guys walk through it for a bit. Which isn't too bad because they have lots of hit points, so it'll take quite a bit to actually kill them. But, you know, a few of them die. So that's in Ionia currently. 2 events then, Gold Mountains, we got a copper deposit. Kind of funny. I guess they're not gold mountains, they're copper mountains. And lost some income in Sleepy Worlds. And Eldron has been breached, which was expected if the fort was empty. I guess you could have a little bit of defense and it would still open immediately. We got 156 siege. Either way, going to storm right away. Don't see any reason not to. I can see, it turns out Aichin does have a ton of stuff on the border at the moment. Maybe he was going to attack this player and I took this stuff too quickly. This is slightly worrying now because, well, I mean, for obvious reasons, right? I mean, I can't really do anything. I'm gonna operate under the assumption that Aichin is not going to try and interrupt us or attack us until they do. So I'm just going to ignore it, but I mean, this is 170 units, and then this is 110 mannequins. It's pretty substantial. It could certainly mess us up quite badly, I would imagine. But let's see what happens. Anyway, that's it for messages. My god is now in Bog of Beasts, so I'm going to search there. Going to head home after that and just do research. We recruited mages this turn. So we got a Fire 3 mage over in this fortress, which is kind of cool. Don't have an immediate use for that, but maybe later. In Idbal we got Tarbar here this turn, so this is another nature version of the cap-only mage with S2, which again is kind of funny. And in Millgate we recruited another wizard and immediately got diseased, so that's really kind of unlucky. At least it means there's no point moving him out of the province. I can just leave him here researching, because he's doomed anyway now. And last time I changed the orders slightly. I realized that the Claymen and the Vinemen would not be able to move straight from Millgate to Holberg. So instead of stopping in Millgate, I was able to just move everything to Cormac. So it's actually in Cormac rather than Millgate, which is, you know, probably works better actually. So that's all fine. And this turn I'm probably just going to try and do a defense in Holberg. It's possible he moves the stack to Monoboa now to chase this from behind, which is fine. But let's see what happens. If we do get lucky and he attacks Holberg, though, I'm not doing any recruitment this turn. No mages, no units, no nothing. I put every point of gold we have into 50 points of PD here. This is extreme, and it might be wasteful if there's never a fight in this province. But I think this province is always going to be hugely contested between the two of us. So I think whenever possible, we're always going to try and have a defense in this province anyway. So I don't mind just blowing a whole turn's worth of gold on this. It will, of course, kind of suck if there's never a battle here, but that's what I've done. I think if we get to have a fight with this army in this province, and we have all that PD plus our units, I think we should beat it quite convincingly. Because we have about 31 elephants in the units, and then in addition to that, there's another 9 elephants just in the PD. So that's 40 elephants to his 52 sacreds, if we just kind of ignore the effect that the poison things might have. So I think we win that pretty convincingly. I also noticed his army doesn't have any gems on the mages, whereas we have some pretty good spells, I think. We'll do some armor stuff, and then I'm going to have these two guys do Earth Power, which takes a while to cast, unfortunately, and then try doing Unearth Dungeon. We'll see what kind of effect that has. Unearth Dungeon requires Earth 3, which we won't have, but it only takes 1 gem to cast, so we can use 2 gems to cast it even with E2. So we'll see if that gets off, and we'll see what exactly it summons. Might be kind of interesting. And then these guys do the usual fire buffs. We're down here because his army is positioned such that the archers are quite low. So I'm hoping what happens is these units kind of hit all the PD, get clogged up, and then the archers start hitting the PD, as what happens here. And then his units start taking poison damage, while our stuff kind of hits these troops from the bottom, but also just gets on the slings as well. I think he will probably reposition his troops there after seeing his stuff all get poisoned, so probably can't rely too much on what the army currently looks like. But yeah, we're at the bottom anyway. Got the Claymen in front because they're completely poison resistant and have regen, so they're not really going to care about the slings. They're also on attack archers. The Vinemen also do not particularly care about poison, but they're going to be firing bows, so not terribly relevant unless his slings are on attack archers. One thing that is slightly obnoxious is the possibility of the archers hitting our block and poisoning our mages. But we will at least be able to spam heal on ourselves constantly, so maybe it won't be too bad, I don't know. That's going to be the plan anyway. I'll just move everything to Holberg and hope that we get attacked there again. And fingers crossed that goes well. And while that's happening, yeah, just going to storm Endron. I'm just going to ignore these giant stacks. Hope they don't do anything. I'm going to assume the palisades is empty, just immediately storm it. I should probably leave something in the garrison, or leave something sieging. I mean, maybe just this priest. I mean, just for the sake of, I don't know, safety. It would be nice if this does not go terribly wrong, though. I made a miscalculation as well. This stack, including my prophet, I believe, can actually move straight to Holberg. Yeah. I guess I didn't... Well, actually, I don't know why that is. I guess when you're doing Control M, it takes into account who owns the provinces. I'm sure I knew that at some point and just forgot. I don't know. It's kind of awkward because it doesn't show you things like the bonuses that the unit you have selected has. Like if one of these guys had forest movement, I don't think it would take that into account. But I don't know. We could move everything here straight back to Holberg to help defend. But I don't think we need that. And also, if this stack moves to Monobow, we might end up fighting it, and then we'd lose, I think. So yeah, these guys just storm. By the way, there might suddenly be a bunch of noise in the background. That's extremely heavy rain. I apologize if that gets picked up. Anyway, those are the orders though. No recruitment, like I said. Just site searching, trying to defend Holberg and storming the fort here. So we'll see how that goes. I am going to partial while I check the video, and I will see you next time. Hello, welcome back. Did some more summons, found 2 magic sites in Bog of Beasts, Oakwood Tower, and 10,000 things. That's a combined 6 gems per turn. 2 battles then. First up, Monoboa. So Patalira actually split his army up slightly. So first squad took back the province next to his palisades. So no problems there. That is about 37 things, sort of. And the rest of his army attacked Holberg. So quite a lot of the Thunderous Paladins who have the poison slings. And lots of two-handed sword guys, the dual-wielding sword guys. And some mages too. Quite a few big mages. We have 50 points of PD and quite a lot of elephants though. Plus some vine men and clay men. I think his solution to poisoning all his own dudes is to just have these guys on attack. And they're pretty good attackers as well. 2 attacks per round, they regen. 10 stats. It's not bad. You have second shapes because you look like lamias or something. Oh yeah, they do. So they turn into black serpents. I guess they are just lamias. We're getting caught up a bit. The elephants in the front are the elephants from the PD though, so it's all fine so far. We did just use Unearthed Dungeon. So we summoned a bunch of dungeon monsters around the edge of the battlefield. So we have an Entangling Cockatrice, a Corpse Candle, an Ogre. Over here we have a large Cave Drake. Pretty cool. And a Shattering Ogre. This guy has a Shattering Great Club that does shatter. Interesting. So while our units are killing the giants, I think our dungeon summons are gonna try and kill the mages. Very clever of them. Some more summons now, including a Fire Drake. And a Poisonous Cockatrice. Oh, looks like we also have an infectious white. That's kind of annoying. He has a disease aura. Plague Carrier 10. Cockatrice is just petrifying the row of mages over and over, which is pretty funny. Well, there you have it. So that was Holberg. So it killed 66 things, killed almost all of the units that attacked here. Also killed 3+1+2 mages. These are pretty decent mages as well. Here's a healers, 285 gold each, 195 gold, and 3 guys, 125 gold. Yeah, we lost 2 summons and an elephant. It did cost us, you know, about 1500 gold worth of PD, but, you know, I think that's still a pretty useful investment. Good province to keep hold of. Great battle overall. Not much else to say there. We also stormed the fortress and Endron. So I think this was empty. More or less. There's one mage here, but I don't believe she does anything. Here are our vine-weaving direwolves, by the way. Yep. So Palisades is ours. There's no lab, unfortunately. But, yeah. Also discovered false prophet and some heretics in Holberg as well, which is quite nice. And that's it for messages. Yeah, so Bog of Beasts, we found 10,000 things, so... a nature, water, air, fire, and earth gem, plus an oakwood tower for another nature gem. So yeah, tons of gems. I can probably just alchemize useless stuff into pearls, do our national summon. And I'll try and get the global up as well. We are going to need some actual... Oops. Which one is it? Otherworldly portals. We're going to need some actual Dominion to make use of this, because it triggers on percentage based on points of Dominion. So the fact that we're still at Dominion 2 is probably not great for that global, but you know, it's an investment, it'll scale over time. I'm sure. The Wilson guy's preaching, so we're getting up to 4 white candles here. And 5 in our cap, that's nice. Anyway, let's look at this turn. So, things have gone quite well here. We now have 2 armies, and he has this, plus 20 things in his cap. And I see another fortress here though. This looks more developed as well. It has a temple we can see, probably has a lab as well. So we'll get scouts the next turn so we can see if there's any units inside this one. Otherwise just pressing in now. We'll try and sit on Pat Lira's cap if we can, just to stop him recruiting. And it's possible these are the only 2 forts he has left, so potentially we could sit on both of them with these 2 armies we have. So that'll be the plan, but might be a bit optimistic, we'll see. The Unearthed Dungeon spell seems very strong. I'm glad we've got that. And we've got some nice buffs too, so fingers crossed things continue to go well. So Monoboa is getting the Palisade Storming Army, like this. I am moving a commander over to that Palisades, which is this red arrow. I'm going to leave him behind a priest as well. Because we can just recruit our units out of this fort now, which is a lot more convenient than these ones. So that's probably what I'll do. So we'll leave some leaders behind. The priest also has 55 leadership, with some experience. I think it's 40 base. So we'll start recruiting units out of this Palisades if we can, although... Well then again, 182 resources and 78 rec points. That's not bad. We can get, you know, a couple of units. Like 6 or 7 probably. Maybe 6. That's not too bad. So we'll attack Monoboa with that army, and the big stack in Holbo will go to Ionia. So yeah, same sort of thing. Still, Fire Mage is doing the fire buffs, spamming some heals and direwolves. And down here, yeah, these 2 guys doing the Unearthed Dungeon spam. Seems pretty good. Hopefully we just hit a small amount of PD next turn though, and he retreats. That would be good. If this looks empty, I guess we move this stack down. Or maybe switch them because this is smaller, I'm not sure. But if it looks stacked, I'll probably merge everything up on Patalira to force him to come and break siege? Maybe. Recruitment this turn is just queuing up slow mages, so got a 4-point mage in this fort, 4-point mage in my cap, and 6 points worth of mages in Millgate to take advantage of the commander points. So next turn we'll have gold saved up and we can do some units or maybe some buildings. Does look like Totis is getting killed by Bawoor, who also borders us to the north. That's somewhat concerning. Might be a good time to look at what Bawoor's nation actually does. Certainly have a lot of pearls because they've been summoning benevolent peasants. I'm probably relying on luck events. Yeah, I'll hand you over to Bawoor Mu. Thanks, Gameplay Mu. Hey look, it's Bawoor, a Naga nation I think this is. And some Mero as well. What's your magic site? Burrow of Axes, 4 Earth, 1 Pearl. You are Naga, Mero, prefer heat scale +2, light infantry and heavy infantry, champions, sacred heavy infantry, and Mero light Kelpie in cavalry. I think Kelpies are horses that drown people, right? In the mythology? Or is that what this thing is? Looks like it. Magic is Earth with weak fire and astral, priests are weak, buildings, fortified cities can build underwater forts, interesting. So let's see what their units are like. Some Mero. Mero are not very good. Does not look like these are particularly improved over typical Mero. We have a Bone Trident, that's kind of nice. 20 damage, pokes, length 3. They're cheap to mass though. Actually, they don't look too bad, do they? I mean, really. They're pretty cheap. I don't know, they're Mero. These guys have a harpoon, that's pretty good. Extra effect on damaging, harpooning. Yep, I mean they're Mero. At least he can get underwater easily. But lots of Mero, lots of Naga. These guys are not wearing any armor at all, and they have 5 attacks. What have we got here? We got Throwing Axes, and Poison Spit, and a Mace, and Venomous Fangs, and Hypnotize. That's pretty cool. 5 protection, 10 defense though. Interesting. Also cold-blooded. Wonder if that can come into play somehow. 75 dark vision. Interesting. The throwing axes hit pretty hard, huh? Range 12, attack 6, damage 17. Okay. What else we got? Champions who have combos instead. We have axe champions who just have a battle axe. Okay. A lot of damage though. None of these guys have any armor at all. And no resists either, so they'll be resistant. They'll be vulnerable to pretty much every kind of attack. Which is something. But they're very cheap, they're going to be easy to mass, and that's a lot of attacks, so... I suppose it's not nothing. There's a great club. How many versions of this are there? Quarterstaff version? Is that one resource? Is that what they're... I think that's the cheapest one so far. Light Staff Champion. Basher with a great club. Are you any different to this guy? There's a Light Basher, and then a Basher. Oh, this guy actually has armor. Okay. We've whipped out the Bronze Cuirass. And then a staff version with the Bronze Cuirass, and a Fire Hierophant. Okay, so this is a Sacred version with Heat 3. Causes a small amount of unrest. Still has no armor, but has 14... Oh, has a Bronze Cuirass. How did I not see that? Has a Bronze Cuirass and 4 attacks with a Blessed Iron Cudgel. That is a big 200 weapon with Stop the Dead. Interesting. I wonder what the Bless is going to be on this nation. Come with 15 fire. All these guys are magic beings, which might also come into play though. That's cool. They're... I mean, they're about as expensive as you'd expect, right? You get these only in your cap, yeah. And Temple Guardians, also sacred. They have power of the turning year. Get strength, attack, and defense during the height of the season. Those are kind of nice as well. Very light on resources. I guess because they're Mero with a bunch of shell gear. It's not too bad though, right? Enchanted Lance is... gets a charge bonus and it's a magic weapon. Interesting. I wonder what units he's relying on for war and stuff. Maybe Sacreds with just the combo archers? Maybe. What about the mages? Let's see. So it doesn't look like any of these are cap only. So his mages are like mine. We have Adept Mirror Stargazer. Recuperation, they shape change into werebears. That's kind of cool. I wonder if the werebear has a ton of hit points. Wouldn't surprise me. They get one pick of fire, water, earth, or astral, and they come with lots of earth and a little bit of astral. So if it was vanilla, I would say, hey, that's like Gifts of Heaven, probably, but I don't even know if Gifts of Heaven is in the book, because I still haven't done the spellbook videos. E2 mages then, with, is that the same pick? Fire, water, earth, astral? Whoops. Fire, water, yeah, so same picks across the board, it looks like. Just did a little earth mage. This one's 4 rec points, this one's 2. Fire, earth, astral on a 95 gold mage. 11 research, gives you 15 resources. Comes with Farcaster. Damn, that's really powerful. I guess it's on a very small mage though. But yeah, that's sick. Patrons are H1 priests. Lieutenants are good leaders. Staff commanders are also good leaders. Warmasters are also good leaders. These all have 120 leadership, that's crazy. Plus 2 for 4. And another nation with assassins. Man, imagine getting assassinated by this thing. 2 ranged attacks and 3 melee attacks, one of which is a stun. That seems pretty good. Well, I mean, it's a cool nation. Were any of you guys stealthy? It doesn't look like it. I always think of Naga as being stealthy, but I guess not. I wonder what the werebear is like. Ah, yeah, it seems like a good nation. It'd be interesting to see how he's playing it and what his bless is. Let me know what you think of Bawoor in the comments. I'll hand you back to the game now. That's it for our orders, though. Just try and take those 2 provinces, and my god is going to head home, I think. We'll sit in the cap for a bit, and that'll be fine. I gotta think about what mages I want to have in every fort. I feel like we should be summoning stuff in all of our forts constantly. Because there's so many cheap summons. I was wondering if we should recruit these guys for that duty, because they're so cheap. Feels bad to tie up the big elephant mages just doing like Vinemen and Flamen, but who knows. We should probably start looking for a really good scaling spell to just dump into every single one of our forts. Probably a good idea. But that's it for turn 24. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.